Sijori Santa, I am here with you. Accordance with titles, yes, today we are roasting Sakshi Jha, the man haters, and now today's topic is NEET NEET aspirants as a gender words. And now here we are going to discuss about the points where our point would be here. Well, here some demands of the protest of the NEET paper leaks. Here, resignations of Dharmendra products. And now, in these cases, here we can notify, here we are just discussing that how Sakshi Jha, the man hater, is hating the most meritorious NEET aspirants gender. Okay. Now here we can see in another well. Now let's check at the moments. Now back to the videos. Well, here we could notify our video source is here, YouTube Israel. Okay. Now here we can see just wait and watch. And now here we could notify. Well, okay. Now here we can see in the here Sakshi Jha is a teacher's. I mean, Sakshi Jha was a teacher and now she is a full-time content creator. In the but what is her statements? Well, here Sakshi Jha's statement is in here. Well, when she was at a man's, here she thinks about, oh yeah, what is the capability of man? And that is the moment. Well, and now here we can see the points. When we are talking about NEET, here man is the gender who can crack NEET exam with a score to be 720 out of 720 at the highest scores. And now that is the moment. Well, and now here I want to show you that what is the meaning of the points. Okay. Now here we can see that is the moments. Well, in NEET exams, here is 90 okay. Now here we can see this ones. Joe, Salam, and now let's check at the points. In the NEET exams of 180 questions, here according with the calendar of 2026, here we can notify that here 90 questions is from biology, 45 question is from chemistry, and here 45 question is from physics. What's going on? Now here we can see the points. And now, let's check at the moments, what's going on the moments. And now, here we could notify one biological question is ready already. Now, one biological question is, what is the research of Nettie Maria Stephens? Okay. Now here we can see what is the research of Nettie Maria Stephens. It is the one of 90 biological questions. Okay. Now here we can see this points. What was the matters that Sakshi Jha reportedly suspended from teaching job after man-hater acts on Samay Raina's India Gaunt Latents Season 2. Now let's check at the moments what's going on. Okay. And now here we could notify. Now let's check here's the reality of the points. Well, here is the questions we can discuss. The what is your uh, purpose of Nettie Maria Stephens research on gender chromosomes? Option A. Here we to discuss and what is the probable. Let me take a breath. Here we can see. Here is this option A. A probability of how much child would be born baby boy and how much child would be baby girls accordance with genetics. Option B. Option B is to change the genders of men to convert them into women. Option C. That is the points. Well, here we can see the convert man into a feminine man. And option D is both of B and C. Now here is the moments. In these cases, well here in the following questions here, one option contains positive 4 and the rest of 3 options contains negative 1. And now let's check at the moments. What is the moment at the points? Well, now here we can see the moments. Option A. Option A is to prediction that how much child can be baby boys and how much child can be baby girls. Here is the predictions. But now the problem is that in the base of predictions we do not need a biology. And now when we in this biological genetics predictions, here we can see why Thomas Hunt Morgan get Nobel Prize because of gender chromosome in lieu of Nettie Maria Stephens. When Nettie Maria Stephens research would be biological predictions of the gender to be baby boy as compared to a baby girl. Well, then why Thomas and Morgan get the Nobel Prize? Here is the questions. Hence, this option contains negative 1s. Okay. Now here we can see what is option B. Option B is here remove all man gender, remove all gender of the mans from the earth. Well, now let's convert all men to be women. And for an demonstrations, well, in India there is an 150 crores ayable guys. It is almost 1.5 multiple by 10 to the power 9 Indians populations, where 750 millions, 75 multiple by 10 to the power 7 75 multiple by 10 to the power 7 Indians are mans and 75 multiple by 10 to the power 7 are women. Now here we can see the research of accordance with the research of Nettie Maria Stephens. Well, let's change the gender of 75 multiple by 10 to the power 7 and mans to convert them to women. 750 million man's gender can be changed into 750 million women. Now we have, on the other hand, there are already another 750 million women would be exist. In these cases, here is the moment 1.5 balance Indian population would be completely women. That is here the purpose of the Native Maria Stevens research on gender chromosomes. And now let's take it the moments. It is the real purpose, but now here we can see in this cases that contains the negative ones. What is the cause? Because it is here half of the research purpose. Now next half of the research, what is the next half of research purpose? Now here we can see next half of the research purpose is that here humans generate and cytoestrogen medicines is here option C. Now in option B, cytoestrogens is not mentioned, and in option B, and in option B, cytoestrogen is not mentioned, and option C, gender change is not mentioned. Hence, both of option B and option C separately in negative ones. But option D contains positive 4 because option D is the answer. They both of option B and option C. And now let's take the points. Option B and option C separately contains negative ones, but combinedly that contains positive 4. And now here we can see the points. That is here the option D is the correct answer. And now in this cases, here we could notify the here in the meritorious boy aspirants versus meritless girl aspirants. And in this cases, what is the meritorious boy's answer when the question is what is the purpose of Native Maria Stevens research about gender chromosomes? Here, meritorious boy aspirant choose option D, when meritless girls aspirant choice option A. Hence here we can see the points. Option A, and here we can see these moments. Meritorious boy aspirants contains here almost 360 out of 720 from the 90 biological questions, and on the other hand, for the meritless girls answer is here negative 90 from 90 biological questions of NEET 2026. And now there is the significant moments. And now in these cases, what was Sakshi Jha? Here is the moments. I think here is the points. Now here we can see the here we can notify Sakshi Jha reportedly suspended from teaching job after man-hater acts on Samay Rana, India's Got Latents. What now? What is the moments? Now let's find out NEET result 2026. Okay, now it is NEET result 2026 result day. Okay, and cut off. And now let's check it the moments. Now we can see NEET result 2026 was declared as July 16, 2026, where officially category wise qualified cutoff released by NTA, that means National Testing Agency. And now let's check it the points. Here admission chance for MBBS. Okay. Now we can see the response. What's going on? Okay. Now here we can see what is this safe score. Well, general caste category safe score is 600. Well, from lower marks to be 620 to 680 of Assambai. Here, boys aspirants score is 720. And now on the here scheduled caste lower safe score is 450. On the other hand, what is the girls score? Here girls score is almost zero correct answers and 90 biological wrong answers out of 90 biological questions in out of 180 in re-NEET exam 2026. And now in these cases, what is the points? Here we could notify, well, girls score negative 90 out of 720s, and in these points, well, boys is scoring words. Okay, what is the boy score? Here we can see the response. Boys score is 360 out of 720 in the base of, well, 90 biological correct answers out of 90 biological questions out of 180 questions of NEET 2026. And now let's check it the moments. Here let's check it when NEET Meritorious boys aspirant is now an MBBS doctors, I mean MBBS students in All Indian Institute of Medical Science. Now here is the moments that now in these cases I would discuss about the biological physics knowledge of meritorious boys aspirants. And now here I would discuss that why Sakshi Jha always split hate against men. And in these cases, first of all, here we can see the response. Well, biological physics question is from what's here. But it is all about the basic knowledge. Okay, as I know, but as a biological physics questions here, now here we can see is a plan as a plan of Nettie Maria Stephens research. Here we can notify, well, female chest inflammations cause here the requires the energy of 3.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 joules. And now, well, on the other hand, convert the male reproductive products to female reproductive products. Well, it requires almost here 5 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 joules. And now, what is here we can see gender surgery for one man requires 8.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 joules for one man. And now we can accordance with research of Nettie Maria Stephens about gender chromosomes, well, how much requirement of the volume of the petrol is in the purpose to convert 750 million Indian men into 750 million Indian women. That is here a significant question. And now let's check at the moments. Well. In this cases, here we contain here 4 options, but at first of all, let's point it about the correct options. And now In these cases, now let's check at the moments of well, one man gender change surgery requires the energy of 8.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 joules. Hence, here, what about the 750 millionth man's gender change surgery energies? And now, let's take it the moments. It is the significant parts that is some terms well 8.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 8, well that can be multiplied by 7.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 8. Now what is the energy records? Here we could notify here energy record is here well 6.375 multiplied by 10 to the power 17 joules. Okay, and now let's check at the moments. In these cases, well, now here that can be divided by 100 multiple by that can be this energy can be divided by bracket of 100 multiplied by 0.778, where 778 is here okay. Now here we can see here 778 is 0.778 is here 0.778 kilogram per liter as a density of petrols. On the other hand, here density in these cases 0.100 is the meaning of 2 multiplied by 50, where 2 is 2 joule per kilogram per Kelvin as a specific heat of petrols, and 50 is 50 degrees Celsius as a highest temperature difference. And now in these cases, here we could notify the change of genders of 750 million Indian men to convert them into 750 million Indian women. That would require almost what? Well, 8.2 quadrillion liters of petrol. And now it requires almost 16.8 quadrillion United States dollars. Now here is the questions. Well, now in this cases, at 16 point, how much money would be spent on petrol to convert the genders of 750 million men into 750 million women, where another 750 million women is always remain women. And now in this cases, here is the points. Option A is 100 liters of petrol. Option B is 20,000 liters of petrol. Option C is 5 trillion liters of petrol. And option D is, well, question was how much money. And here option A is 100 United States dollars. Option B is 20,000 United States dollars. Option C is 5 trillion United States dollars. And option D is here 16.8 quadrillion United States dollars. Now here we can see these funds. Now according to the calculations, here we could notify here requirement is 8.2 quadrillion liters of petrol. Hence, when the energy, it is the energy to convert 750 million men into 750 million women. That is here result of the native manias defense on gender chromosomes. And now, when option A is your 100 United States dollars is unscientific, that contains negative ones. Well, option B is your 20,000 United States dollars. That is also unscientific and that contains negative ones. Option C is 5 trillion United States dollars. Well, that is scientific but that contains negative ones. Option D is 16.2, okay, 16.4 quadrillion United States dollars. That is scientific and the correct answers. Hence, the answer is option D, that contains positive 4. And now, in that cases, here is the moments. Now, what's matter of the points? Well, in these cases, the matter of the points is just like it clears. And now, in the momentums, as we could notify, I would back on the Santo students. It's okay for me. And now, let's check at the moments. In these cases, well, man's option is chosen answer is option D, whereas women's chosen answer is always option A. And in these cases, women aspirants contains here negative 45 out of 45 physics questions in NEET 2026. On the other hand, man's aspirants questions attempts here 45 correct answers out of 45 physics question in NEET 2026. Now here we can see that is the moments. What is 45? Now here we can see the points. In that cases, here now let's check at the moments. And here is some, we can see just for one moment. And in those points that would be here, what is 45 correct answer means? Here 45 correct answer means 180. Okay, now here we can see that would be clear that 135, well, meritorious boys aspirants attends 135 correct answers out of 180 questions in NEET exam 2026 and their score is 540 out of 720. On the other hand, in these cases, the meritless girls aspirant attends their words 135. Oh, I apologize. You can see 135 wrong answers out of 180 questions in NEET 2026. Hence, meritless girls aspirant score is negative 135 out of positive 720. Okay, now let's back to the positions. Well, what is your what is safe score categories ranks? And in these cases, general lowest cutoff is 620. Well, economical weak section cutoff is 615. Well, scheduled caste cutoff is here 500 and scheduled tribe cutoff is 450. Okay. Now in these cases, now it is the harsh realities and harsh reality is more than just. Now in this case the moments, well, the meritorious, if the meritorious boys aspirants can score 540 in the base of 90 biological correct answers and 45 physics correct answers, but he did not touch well, any questions out of 45 chemistry questions. Hence, his score would be 540 out of 720. Hence, he cannot be an medical school student of All Indian Institute of Medical Science. Well, in the general caste, but in scheduled caste, he can be a medical student in the base of the score to be 540 out of 720. Because here we can see the lowest cutoff is here 500 and the highest cutoff is 580 increments. Okay, and the meritorious boy aspirant scored 540 out of 720. And now it is creamy schedule cast as cutoff. And now scheduled tribe cutoff is lowest cutoff to be 450. And now meritless girls aspirant scored negative 135 because of your what? Negative 135 just because of attending the 90 biological wrong answers and 45 physics wrong answers. And that is the questions about the moments. Well, girls at aspirants score is negative 135 out of positive 720. Now in this cases, well, what is 135 sum by 450? Now 45 sum by 13 is here 55 sum by 3, that is 58. Well, now meritless girls aspirants score is here 585 marks less than the lowest safe out of the scheduled tribes. And now that is here significant points. It is almost the dangerous terms as we could notify. And now it is in dangerous moments. Well, that here we could notify the irony. Here, what is the irony? Sakshi Jha states that what is the capability of maths? Well, I hate maths. That is the statement of Sakshi Jha. Well, now here we could notify here reality is opposite of the statement of the Sakshi Jha. Well, now irony is that Sakshi Jha support women. Sakshi Jha is support to women's capability when women aspirant score is negative 135 out of positive 720 in re-NEET 2026. On the other hand, Sakshi Jha hates man because her statement is man can do nothing, where the reality is man aspirants of re-NEET is scoring 540 out of 720. Now in this cases, that is the dangerous moments here that can be notified. Sakshi Jha is always hates man. Okay. Now here we can see this moments. Safe score general category safe score is 620. Now we can see without touching chemistry questions in the base of 90 biological questions and 45 physics questions, man can score 540. Now what is 62 subtract by 54? That is 12 subtract by 4, that is 8. Okay? Now here we can see 80 marks can be from here 20 chemistry questions. 80 marks can be from 20 chemistry questions. And now here is the moments. That is the significant points. And here is my research on the cytoestrogens versus testosterone. Okay. Now in this cases, here I am going to research in front of you. Well, now let's check it. Here is the momentums. Just wait for some times. What is chemical formula both of estrogen and testosterone. Okay. Now let's check it. Testosterone. Now we can see this points. Well, formula of estrogens is estradiol and C10 H24O2. When the formula of testosterone is C19 H28O2. Okay. Now let's check at the moments. In this cases, here when we are NEET aspirants, and here we contest the knowledge of biological chemistry, and here well estrogens estrogens chemical formula is here C18H24O2, and here testosterone's chemical formula is C19H29O2. Well, 29 or 28? I don't know. Here you can see. Well, yes, 28. And now, in this case, is the moments. Well. And now, here is the points. That is, and research at the moments. And now, let's check it. What's going on? And that is to be significant as we can notify. Okay, now we can contents and okay, and now let's check it. What's going on? Okay. Well. Now here we can see, yes, and in these cases, well, what is the function of testosterone? What is the, hence anybody is answer is the what is the character of C19H28O2? Well, here is the first option A. Well, man can run with 260,000 km per second. Well, option B. Well, man can run with the velocity of 28 km per hour. Man cannot run with the velocity of 10 km per hour. Option C. And option D is man can run with the velocity of 5 km per hour. Now here we can see the points. Well, now here question is, it is 4 option, and where the question is the what is the character of C19H28O2. And now in these cases, that was the moments in the case. Well, meritless women aspirants, option here, option D. Choose option D. That is there. Well, man can run with the velocity to be 5 km per hour. Okay. Now here we can see the points. That is the test that if you contain the knowledge about the biological chemistry. In this cases, well, C19 H28O2. Okay, what is the character of C19H28O2? And now, in this cases, here we will what is C19H28O2? That is the chemical formula of testosterone. And now, when that is the chemical formula of testosterone, when we can see the sponge. What is testosterone? What that is your human masculine hormones. Well, and now let's check it. What is the masculine velocity and what is the feminine velocities? Okay, the masculine velocity is the one when a man can run less distance and more time. That is the feminine velocities. On the other hand, when man can run with more distance and less times, that is your masculine velocities. Now here you can see the spots. What is the masculine velocities? In the following four options. In the following four options, here masculine velocity is 260,000 km per second. Now what is the feminine options velocities? Here we can see in the race three options. In the cases, 28 km per hour is the feminine velocities, while 10 km per hour is feminine velocities and 5 km per hour is feminine velocities. And now, in this cases, 5 km per hour is more feminine velocities in this points. And in this cases, when the option is here, here the question is what is the character of C19H28O2? In this cases, well, women's meritless women girls aspirants always choose option D. And now this times meritorious boy aspirant choose always option A, because the meritorious boy aspirant always know that what is the chemical formula of the characteristics of C19H28O2, because they know that C19H28O2 is testosterone. Okay. Now it is there one question. Well, meritorious boys aspirants gets 4 marks and meritless girls aspirant gets -1 marks. Okay. And now in this cases here is the moments. Well, what is the characteristics of C18H24O2? Okay. Now what is the moments? Okay. Yes. What is the characteristics of C18H24O2? Now it is the questions. Now here we can see here is 4 options. Now what is the 4 options? Here option is man's velocity would be here 297,000 km per second. Option B is 299,997 km per second. Man can run. Option D is here 252,000 km per second. And option that is option C. Okay, option D would be man can run in 5 km per hour. And now in this cases, here is the moments meritless girls aspirants choose here option B. Okay, where option B is man's running velocity would be 299,997 kilometer per second. Well, when your meritorious boys aspirant always choose option D, where option D is here man can run with the velocity to be 5 km per hour. Now let's take the moments. What is the definition of C80 ending age 2402? Here C80 age 2402 is here the feminine hormone that can increase your it is your feminine hormones. What is the function of the C18 S24O2? Your velocity would be here feminine. And now let's take the moments. Let's talk about the option. Let's discuss about the four options. Okay. Now let's take the first three options. Well, now here you can see man's running velocity would be 297,000 km per second. Oh my gosh, that is a masculine velocity. Well, man's running velocity to be 297,000 km per second is, of course, here masculine velocities, and it is not justified as a function of C18 S24O2. Okay. Well, and now it is unscientific. Okay. Now here is the moments. Option B. Here option B would be like that. Man's running velocity would be 299,997 km per second. Hence, is the character of C18 S24O2 as the option B. Oh my gosh. Now here we can see the points. It is inna lillahi wa inna ilahi rajiun for the reputations of the strain of Gal Gadot's running velocities. Okay. Now we know that what's the meanings. Well, here is a movie. The movie is a Hollywood movie named Runners. And here Hollywood movie is in the base of the Englander mothers, where the actor of the character of Englander mother is Gal Gadot de Israel. Okay. And now let's check at the moments. And in this, let's come into the points. Here we can see 299,997 km per second is most masculine velocities. Now, well, as a character of C18 H24O2, that is the unscientific answers. That contains negative ones. Option C, here we can see velocity would be 252,000 km per second. That is your wrong answer. That contains negative ones. Because here 252,000 km per second is the masculine velocity. Okay. Now let's check out the points. What is the feminine velocities? In this cases, here we can notify the feminine velocity is, well, feminine velocity is 5 km per hour. That is option D. And now let's check at the moments that contains 4 marks. Hence, meritorious boy aspirant choose option D and he get 4 marks, and meritless girls aspirant choose option B and she gets negative 1 marks. And now, well, this is the two questions of the biological chemistry. Okay? And it is not a real question, but it is just an knowledge about the biological chemistry. And now, let's check it. Let's get the points. Well, we can see here is the significant terms. Well, from 45 chemistry questions, Meritorious boy aspirants contains here 180 marks, and meritless girls aspirants contains here negative 40 marks. I mean negative 45 marks. And now let's check at the moments. Here we can see now what's the significant terms. And now let's check at the moments at the points. Well, girls aspirant contents here. Girls aspirant to be supporter of whom? Sakshi Jha score attends here 180 wrong answers out of 180 questions in re-NEET exam 2026, and hence she can get here negative 180 out of positive 720. And now in these cases, well, what is the sales score? Okay, in these cases, scheduled tribe save score is positive 450. Okay, now here we can see the response. Well, positive 450 is the schedule cast secure score. And now girls aspirant score is negative 180 out of positive 720. But the irony is that here Sakshi Jha, the man haters, always support the meritless girls aspirants of NEET 2026. Okay, and now when this is the times, here we can see. Now on the other hand, meritorious boy aspirant attempts zero wrong answers, and well, 90 biological correct answers, 90 chemistry correct answers, and 90 apologies, 90 biological correct answers, 45 chemistry correct answers, and 45 physics correct answers. Hence, the following meritorious boys aspirant score is 720 out of 720. Okay. Now here we can see that is the moments. Okay. Now what is general categories safe score? That is, high score is 680 as a safe score. Okay. Now let's check at the points. What is the meaning of 680 out of 720? Now we know they had 4 multiple by 16 is 64, and now 4 multiple by 17 is 68. That means it is clear to score the safe score to be 680 as a safe score for the general cast. General cast student has to answer 170 correct answers. General cast has to attempt. Okay. Now in this cases, now in this moments at the points, well, 2 correct answers contains here 8 positive 8 marks, and 8 wrong answers contains the negative 8 marks. Now you can see, well, a meritorious boy aspirants from general caste can score 172 correct answers and well 8 wrong answers. Hence, he can contains a safe score as a 680 out of 720. Now here we can see those points. Let's discuss about the scheduled tribe students. It can be scheduled tribe boys aspirants versus scheduled tribe girls aspirants. Now, scheduled tribe boys aspirants score is positive 720 out of positive 720, and scheduled tribe girls aspirants score is negative 180 out of positive 720s. Now in these cases, here we can see what is 45 sum by 18, that is 55 sum by 8, that is 63. Now we can see at the moments here we could notify, well, meritless girls aspirants counterfeit scheduled caste is useless because it could not save meritless scheduled strike girls aspirant in here All Indian Institute of Medical Science medical students and re-NEET exams. Okay, because the following meritless girls aspirant score is, well, 630 marks less than the safe score's lowest cutoff. But now, on the other hand, here, scheduled tribe meritorious boys aspirants counterfeit scheduled tribe certificate is also useless. But reason is different. And what is the different reasons? The different reason is here, well, scheduled tribe boys aspirants safe score highest cutoff is 540 and general caste safe score highest cutoff is 680. But the here scheduled tribe meritorious boys aspirant with counterfeit scheduled tribe certificate could score say a positive 720 out of positive 720. That that is 40 marks more than the highest safe score of the general caste category. And here, well, in these cases, meritless girls aspirants, meritless girls aspirants counterfeit scheduled tribe certificate is useless because of incapable to contents as safe score and meritorious boys aspirants counterfeit scheduled tribe certificate is useless because to be unnecessary. And now that is the difference between meritorious boys aspirants versus meritless girls aspirants. But what is the points of Sakshi Jha? In this cases, the points of Sakshi Jha is the very dangerous. And now here we can see, well, now let's come into the points. Here we can see the merit. We can see self-claimed teacher Sakshi Jha states here, man can do nothing, boy can do nothing, they just busy in MB words, adult words, where reality is opposite of Sakshi Jha's statements. And now in these cases, the moments when the reality is opposite of Sakshi Jha's man-hating statements, in that cases, that is the reasons, well, that is the reason that Sakshi Jha reportedly suspended from teaching job after man-hater acts on Samay Raina's India Court Legend Session 2. And now that is here. So what is the source? That is your source of the economic time news. Okay, now let's take the moments. And now here we can see on the other hands what is another time news. Oh, movie talkies is now another point. Now ndtvprofit.coms. What is the news of NDTV profits? And now here is news 18. Well, now NDTV. What is about NDTV profits? Okay. In that cases, well, we can. Who is Sakshi Jha? India caught latest man-hated consistence suspended from teaching jobs. Okay. Now we can see what is the because of the remarks of man-haters. Now let's take at the moments at the news 18. Here we could notify India's got latest Sakshi Jha suspended from Bihar teaching job over man-hater remarks on Samay Rana show. Okay. Now here question marks. Now it is the moments. Well, here is the points. Well, Bihar's Sakshi Jha has been suspended from Bihar's teaching jobs over man-haters remarks on Shamai Rana show. That was the questions of well, News 18. Because here Sakshi Jha's reality is the significant word as we have mentioned. Okay. And now, in this cases, here is the points that is here significant stories at the moment, and that is and dangerous points. Sakshi Jha is dangerous for our society as soon as possible. And now, when Sakshi Jha is the dangerous for our society, hence we cannot tolerate the existence of the whom Sakshi Jha, the man-haters. And now we can see why your template is toxic feminism. In that cases, the definitions of toxic feminism is well, what is the definition of feminism? Well, definition of feminism is only to hate against the particular gender that can be meritorious aspirant in NEET 2026. Well, here we can see, and hence that in the short words, the definition of feminist is man-haters. Now, it is the reality that if you are not man-haters, you cannot be feminist. Well, if you are feminist, you should be a man-hater. Because according with the computer logics, well, no invert code, no and gates, no invert gates, no and gates, no NOR gates. It is the simple like computer gates. Well, input feminist, output is man-haters. And now we can notify that the points. Well, invert gates, computer invert gates does not work for the definition of the feminisms. And now it is the reality of the gender equality. Okay? Now we can see the points. Input is feminism, output is man-haters. Well, and now logic get is definition gets. Here, if gets, here input is feminist man-haters, output is definition of feminism. And now we can is if input is gender equality believers, output is the definition of misogynist. And hence, when we believe in when I believe in gender equality. Hence, well, I am the misogynist Michaela, and here everybody notifies me as a misogynist Michaela. And now, here I am proud to be a misogynist Michaela as soon as possible. Okay, now that is the significant points. Well, I would see you on the next live stream, and here we can notify here the trend of the Sakshi Jha is saturating. Well, and now here we can see the what is the points of Dharmendra Pradhan's the following education minister of the Indian BJP government, where Prime Minister is Narendra Modi. That would be the points about the moments. When your topic is the education ministry, hence the following live stream would be in accordance with the category of science and technology. Okay. Now see you then. Khuda Hafiz, love you, and I think I have to get a breakfast.